Okay, now we're back and we're going to do the same colors, but only this time we're going to pull back on the browns and push the greens and the blues, so we get just a little different pour. And this will show you exactly what mixing those colors, how important that it is, because you just can't put everything in and think that it'll turn out, you know, exactly like you want, because putting in more blues or more greens or more yellows will give you so much of a different pour. You wouldn't really imagine how much difference that it makes. So we're going to start off with the yellow. That by itself with this turquoise is going to give us different colors, sort of greens. Put in the dark turquoise, then some of this green from up high because I want it to mix. Then a little bit of this yellow, orange, a little bit extra yellow. Then I'm going to come in with a little bit of brown. And I'm doing that really close to the cup because I don't want it to really mix that much. Now I'm going to pull it up high because I want that to push it through. The other, a lot of this, a lot of turquoise, like I said. We want a lot of turquoise. Okay, we have a nice cup full of color, and you can do it like this. You can put your canvas on top, always a good thing to do. Or if you're really fast in your wrist, you can just take it like this and turn it over. I like putting it on top. You know, it's safe, it works. So I'm going to let a lot of it drip out of the cup because there's a lot of paint in there and we need those on the corners to get it over the corner. That's it. We can scrape that out if we need it. I could do it right now. Just to make sure the corners are covered, and they're going to get some out of there. That's it. Okay. Now we're going to move it a little. I'm going to move it all over the place now and then torch. There it goes over the side. This one coming over the side. That's it. It's all covered, as you can see. Not very interesting, but I'm sure it's going to give us some beautiful cells. So here it comes. Look at that. Wow. I'm going to torch the whole thing. And this time I'm torching from up pretty high because I want the whole thing torched and I want those cells growing. And I want the sides to be also celling up. So there's a lot of cell action in this one. And because there's Floetrol in the mix, I'll show you what the Floetrol does. Can you see the double rings around the cells? That's usually what the Floetrol does, because it has it gives those double rings around it. Now this one, I can imagine that let me get you in focus. I can imagine when you do a pour like this, yes, we got all these turquoises that are the base color, but we're not that enthusiastic about the pour. We don't really like it. So then you can do a lot of things to it. You could come in with the comb. Let me do the comb because I'm going to do some different things to it too. Now if you see it up close, let me get you in focus. See what it does to those cells? That is, oops, got a little bit of paint on my hands here. That is something that you can do. I think it's pretty, especially that. And it's coming out of this. Whoops. I wish that thing would find its own focus. That would be really great. Okay. So as you can see, I started it out of this. I could do that also up here. I'll show you. Out of the orange. Just pull it up like that. That's a little wobbly, but you get the idea. You can do that. You can also get your little, anything that you have, something with a point, and you can pull it like that if you want to. And this has to happen in the wet paint, because that is how it works. That way it can flow back together, but it leaves the print. But what you can also do is come in with a tiny little container, and I'm getting the last of the paint out here. And we can do some ribbons on top. Now usually what Rick does is he just puts like a couple of blobs of paint on there like this. Let me put it here. And another color. And maybe a little bit of green. Like that. And then you can get something that is a little bit round, because that's how it works. And what he usually does is this. Mixes it on the canvas. Then come back in with the torch. And do something like that. You can do that. Now these cells are gorgeous. I love those cells. But I would also like to put some ribbons on. So what I'm going for is a little contrasting color. And I'm going to give it a little swirl in the cup. That's it. And then we're going to let it run down. See how that works? I'm going to tip off that orange. Not too fond of it. And this is exactly like I like it. Yes, it is. I love this. This is beautiful. Let me get a little bit of that color to put it on the corner there, because that was a little bit too green for my liking. Now, we didn't torch those ribbons, and you can leave it like this if you like it. Are we really in focus here? Yeah. Or we can just torch it, because things will happen to it, because there's silicone in there. Now this is something I really like, because I got the stripes going down here, got the ribbon going over. I really like it, but what I'd like to do is add a little bit of metallic, because I think it needs that. But with the metallic stuff, I got a cup of that stuff over here. As you can see, this is the copper color. I think gold would go better with these, with the color combination. But the good thing about this is that you can add it when it's dry, and that's what I'm going to do. So, because you get more control over where you're going to lay down the gold leaf. So when this is dry, I will put on some medium and press the gold leaf on top. And I could even, oh no, I got that one inside. I got this really special brush, a sort of a pinstripe brush. It's really long, and you can make really beautiful motion with the brush. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to follow these ribbons like you see here, up here. I'm going to follow the ribbons, and I'm going to put in like a really narrow line of gold leaf. That's what I'm going to do, because that really feels good. I really like this one. It is pretty. It has so many, oops, sorry, I'm in the way, but it has so many pieces that I really like. The this which I did with the spoon, and the ribbons are cute, and this combing here I really love, so I'm gonna give it a go. I'm not sure which monitor you're gonna see this on, but when I'm looking at my monitor, this is has a little bit more color contrast in real life than it has on the monitor, so it's a little bit richer color. There's some of that really pretty, this green is popping through here. So, and it might even move a little bit more, not much though, but a little bit. And when this is finished, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a stunning piece. So I'm going to put it away now, because we want to do a little bit with the drip off. Okay, we got a lot of drip off, as I can see, and I'm not going to waste too much of the paper on this, so we're just going to see if it works. If it doesn't, that's it, then I'll stop. Just a little more. I'm going to let it run down as much as it wants to. Then run down this way, that way. Sometimes it's just nice to see all these swirly patterns. Let's see what it does when we torch it. It's coming. There's a couple of cells popping. That's kind of nice. Okay. And one more. And there was someone that asked me about alcohol ink. I don't think alcohol ink works with this stuff. I got some purple. This is alcohol ink. Contrasting color. Let's put some of this on here. Let it run down. Put some inks on here. Clean off the palette knife. And that's sort of what I expected. It's not going to be... see why it's selling is because of the silicone underneath. Nothing beautiful or nothing spectacular. You know, they're even really, as you can see, really ugly cells. So other than, you know, making those things, I don't really think it's worth much. Let me put some more on. And just put one little drop on. So that is your alcohol ink. It's not pretty. I don't like it. And it's really thin, and you know, if you want to do these things, you could, I think you could better mix up some of the acrylic ink with a lot of alcohol, and you could have those you could have these things turning into little coral things. But I don't think they're really pretty. And there they are, they're gone. So one more here. There's the last one. We'll put a little contrasting color on here and do a little swipe. We'll do a multicolor swipe. Let's see, a little yellow. Clean off the palette knife. And swipe, swipe. Now that's another thing that maybe some people are picking up, maybe some are not. When you do a swipe, you really want to swipe a little bit, you know, with a little bit of speed. Because if you don't, not much is going to happen. So, like you see here, there is cells, but not as fast as you saw the last one. So when you put that on and you swipe a little faster and then you torch, as you can see, it sells much better. There it is. And there are some pretty pieces in this. This one I'll keep. And I want to do one more just because I can. And that one is, let's get some of this color out of the way. What I'd really like is a lot of this turquoisey color. Let's see if I can scrape some more out of the cup. That's one. That's two. Clean off the palette knife. That's nice and light, and I'd like some, I'm going to do a dark swipe. And there it is. That's kind of cute. Yep. Okay. Keep that one. Okay guys, this was it. I'm going to be doing the pine cone and the resin thing. Oh, that is kind of pretty too. Okay, gonna clean this up. The pine cone and the resin, I'll show you a video about that as soon as I get my hands wrapped around it, because I've never done that before. And I have to color some resin, and there are two ways. You can do very transparent resin, but I'm thinking more of doing a sort of a in-between, not opaque but not transparent, but halfway. So that's what I'm going to go for. And then I have to find a way to saw those pine cones in half, or a lot of it. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, and I can't video that because I got the saw in another shed way in the back of the garden. So I'll video it when I get my mind wrapped around how I have to do that, and then I'll show you how it's done, and you can tell me if you like it or not. So it's gonna be fun. Okay guys, see you next weekend, I guess. Love you all to pieces. Bye.